Hi, this is Joseph Tan here from AnswersAcademy.info. In the mid-1800s, within the buried cities of the ancient Near East, a whole library of tablets were excavated. It contains a list of kings, business archives, administrative documents, and quite interestingly, a number of versions of the flood epic, a seemingly worldwide flood that destroyed the whole earth. And because these tablets were dated in the range of 2200 to 620 BC, these are very ancient records of the flood story. So archaeologists tend to give a lot of value to what is written in the flood epic here. Particularly the most complete being the Babylonian collation, which is called the Gilgamesh Epic. And because of the ancient historical value of this record, people tend to compare the Gilgamesh Epic with what is depicted in the book of Genesis in the Bible. Since the writing of the Gilgamesh Epic predates the authorship of the book of Genesis by Moses, many seem to think that this is the original source of the account of creation, and the Bible is actually a derivation from the Gilgamesh Epic. But is this logical? Here's how the Gilgamesh Epic sounds like. Gilgamesh, after great bitterness over losing his friend called Enkidu, he seeks Utnapishtim, which is equivalent of Noah, to ask him for the secret of immortality. And in that conversation, Utnapishtim tells Gilgamesh of the gods' desire to flood the world. Why? Because they could not sleep for the uproar of mankind. Ea then, the god of wisdom, sent a warning to Utnapishtim to convert his house into a boat, and also to take the seed of all living creatures, and tell the people he was building a boat to escape the wrath of the god called Enlil. How long did it take for Utnapishtim to build the boat? It took him 7 days to convert the house into the boat. The great flood did come, and it overwhelmed the world for 6 days and 6 nights, and the 7th day it grew calm. The boat then rested on Mount Nisir, and Utnapishtim sent out a dove, a swallow, and then a raven. And when the raven didn't return, he made a sacrifice, and the gods gathered over it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Gilgamesh Epic. Now let's examine one important principle here. In the ancient Near East literature, the rule is this: simple and accurate accounts of an event in history usually give rise to more elaborate stories and legends and myth as time goes on, because people tend to add on and to make the account a little bit more spectacular as time goes on. I mean, you have played the game, right, of passing down a story down a chain of communication. Sometimes the end result here, the story, would be so much far-fetched from the original source, though it might contain traces or elements of the truth. So literary evidence shows that what is simple is eventually translated into something that is more spectacular as time goes on. And hearing the Gilgamesh Epic itself, you can see that it definitely borders and it falls within the category of something which is quite spectacular. The difference between the Gilgamesh Epic and the Holy Scriptures as recorded for us in Genesis is really in the details. For example, the Bible specifically states that Noah took 2 of every kind of land-dwelling animal and 7 of some animals onto the ark. The Genesis account is clear and realistic when comparing the animals and the size of the ark. Also, the detailed biblical account explains that the flood began as the fountains of the great deep broke open, and it covered and when it broke open, the flood waters covered the whole earth, even to the extent to the highest mountain, and it rained continuously for 40 days, and the waters continued to rise until the 150th day. In fact, Genesis reads almost like a diary or a ship's log of the events, a day by day account. Also, the biblical dimensions of the ark are detailed and consistent with a vessel that could float in rough waters and could house the animals described. The dimensions of the boat in the Gilgamesh Epic, however, amount to more of a cube-shaped vessel. Now, which detailed, is more logically suited to survive a worldwide flood? Logically, this boat could not have flowed in a stable manner in rough seas and would not be structurally reliable, unlike the Noah's Ark's dimension in the historical record in the book of Genesis. So as you can see, the Bible and the Gilgamesh Epic are two separate accounts of history. One which is simple, accurate, and logical, and the other one is a little bit more sophisticated and speculative. So the sophisticated doesn't move towards being the simple as we have seen earlier. Usually it goes the other way around. So taking a look at the verifiable detail of the accounts in the book of Genesis really shows that the word of God is unique in its accuracy. And the Bible stands alone in its authority to depict the simple and clear history of what happened in time past. This is the revealed word of God to us, and we can stand upon it authoritatively. This is Joseph Tan here from AnswersAcademy.info. Thanks for watching.